And an awesome Saturday to our 94.7 FM family. We are so glad to have you guys back in the chat room with me and the doctor, Dr. Nicole. How you doing, ma'am?
Doing great. I'm doing great. How are you today?
You weren't ready, huh?
And I told you I was, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
Woo.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I was just thinking when you said that, gotta be quicker than that.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Got to stay on your toes. Got to be ready. I'm doing good though. I'm thinking back, this week has been a good week. Some things have blossomed for me that I've been praying on. So it's been a fabulous week. How about you?
Always glad to hear. It's been a great week. I worked like, somebody's borrowed mule.
Oh.
But I got that behind me. It's the weekend, baby.
Yes.
And it's all good.
Taking care of yourself then, I hope, I assume.
Absolutely. We're always happy to be in this hour because we always have our audience that comes back every Saturday to share this hour with us. And one of our most fun topics that we've just been kind of sticking with here lately has been relationships. It's the thing now, right? And we want to talk about it some more. And we have a very, very special guest that I would love for you to introduce to the audience today.
Yes. So we have with us today Mr. Silver Fox himself. He is a very good friend of ours. And let me tell you a little bit about him. So he hails from Baltimore, be more for those folks who are from there. Owner and operator of Elite Audio and Bagger. And he is like a motorcycle or bike kind of, connoisseur extraordinaire, does a lot of do you remember that show? This is what I think of when he talks about his shop. But do you remember that show years ago on MTV? What was it called? Pimp My Ride. So that is what this gentleman that we have here today is the epitome of the Pimp My Ride. So I want to introduce Mr. J to the show. Thank you for being here. We are really excited to have you here to talk all things relationship. So thank you for being here, Mr. J. How you feeling today?
I'm great. It's my pleasure to be here and to give my input on all things relationships.
Yes, we've all had some really good conversations.
Yes, so we know he has a very interesting take, right?
Yes.
I'm a huge fan. I follow your channel, so I've seen all those videos, and I'm just happy to be a guest.
And you know what? You have your own YouTube show, right? Where you talk about relationships. Give us, tell us what your YouTube name is, or plug your show for the listeners.
Okay, well, it's called Silver Fox Convo. That's my YouTube channel, as well as Elite Audio and Bagger. But on Silver Fox Convo, I talk about a lot of topics, and one of the main ones is relationships. And I think a lot of gentlemen email me to talk on certain topics that they don't want to speak on, because I'm gonna speak on it. So they drop a comment, and it says touch upon dating, like I just did something about pee in the dating pool, because dating is, dating can really suck. And we said it was pee in the dating pool. And we touch on a lot of topics. So one day I'm gonna have you guys come over to my platform.
Yeah.
When we get a little edgy, Yeah. But today I'm here with you guys. We're gonna keep it PG. And
So here's something that when you were talking, I was thinking, this dating thing is an entirely different phenomenon than what it used to be, right? And based on the things that we hear, based on the topics, all of the relationship gurus and, everybody, it's always about toxic relationships and, people being so damaged and broken and all of that.
Right.
In this dating pool that you just talked about that sounds like you're saying ain't so good. How do we avoid connecting with toxic and damaged people? What do we do? What do we keep our eyes open for?
It's tricky because when you first meet someone, you meet their spokesperson. You don't meet them. And a lot of people can really finesse it, make you think they're somebody else. So while they're busy, being somebody else and pulling you in, it's always later in the game when you realize they're not who they say they are. And then sometimes when it happens, you already got feelings for the person. Now you feel kind of stuck.
Right.
Because people can paint these pictures, and be someone totally different, and it can lure you in. And that's the tricky part, that's the worst catfishing, being somebody else, but it happens.
So along those lines, somebody gave me this advice a little while ago, and I thought it was maybe really good and insightful advice, but I want to know your opinion. So they said basically what you want to do is assume that whatever the person's doing in the beginning is, what they're supposed to do, and don't really put much stock into it. Almost see it as a given. They should be doing this. They're going to be doing this because they want me to, want to stick around. So is that good advice, to just assume that whatever anybody's doing is going to be their best and their top,
Is not at all. Because like I said, everybody, can put their best foot forward for a month or a few months. Some people can do a whole year before you finally meet them. But in the beginning, you are meeting their spokesperson. You will get to them eventually. And that's when everything will hit the fan.
So you don't believe that there are some people, even if they are few and far between, that show up as themselves?
Oh, yeah. But it's so rare. I would call them like mermaids or leprechauns or unicorns. Those people are going to be rare. People rarely want to be themselves. And I don't know why, but some people just want to, some people don't love themselves, so they want to be someone else.
I have a really hard time being somebody else at this age. I do. I struggle.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Is it more women or more men that you feel like do this representative thing, or is it pretty much everybody that you feel like is
it's across the board? It's across the board. Everybody, it's kind of like, think about this. If you're online dating and you meet someone and they got filters on their photos or hella makeup, or they wearing body magic or a corset, they can give this illusion physically of someone else. Then you meet them and they're not who they portray to be, let alone the mental games. So it's rough. It's definitely rough. So.
Okay, so with all of that said, I feel like so many people are navigating this particular space with walls up, okay? And, the same walls that are there to protect you can be the same walls that can cause you to miss your blessing.
I totally agree.
So I still say, like, don't we just have to, a friend of mine used to call it a crapshoot, right? Don't we just have to put ourselves in a space of being vulnerable? Don't we have to be, I'm talking about if we really want it, then we have to put ourselves in a mindset of, I'm okay with being vulnerable. I'm saying now, using some sense, that I'm trying to take a look at what this person offers or what they bring, or, what they're presenting to me, and say that I'm going to trust this person enough to be vulnerable and open myself up to the idea. And I may get hurt. And I may have to bounce back and, and move on from it. But how do we ever get there if we don't ever open ourselves up to it? Everybody,
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. We actually have to. We gotta be vulnerable. That's the sucky part. We have to do it, because we'll never find what we're looking for if we keep that wall up. So at some point we all gotta just throw ourselves out there, like I said, throw ourselves on a crap table. Either we're gonna win or we're gonna crap out. But we got to do it though, you know.
Well,
and,
but what about those people who just, you know, can't or won't be vulnerable? Like they're just too afraid to do it, or they've been hurt before, so they've sworn being vulnerable off. What about those people who
they're never going to get it? If you feel like that, you're never going to find what you want. If you can let your guard down, let someone in, you will never find what you look for. You'll be
because
miserable.
You cannot fully give or receive love with walls up. You can't do either one.
Right. And you know, nobody want to grow old by themselves. So at some point we gotta tear these walls down, you know, and for ourselves out there, nobody want to be the one to say, you know, I'm feeling you, I'm digging you. It's the game. Well, she got to say it first, or he got to say it first. I'm not gonna throw myself out there if they ain't feeling the same way, and you know, and you got
rejection.
Just, you know,
is that it? The rejection part of it, just in case
some
person ain't. Yeah.
People are just afraid of rejection, and that's a part of life, you know. You know, you gotta put it out there. I remember one time I was out of town, and we were just, you know, having a good time hanging out, and we went down on the elevator to pick someone else up, and the doors opened up, and I saw this young lady. I'm like, whoa. Oh,
I love it. Love at first sight.
Right. It's just that feeling, but some people get you caught up in their egos where they can't tell that person, like, yo, I'm really, really digging you, you know, because the egos, you know, what if she don't, you know, reciprocate what I'm saying to her and she don't feel the same way? Well, that's okay. That's a part of life. But, you know, you're going to feel some kind of way if you don't tell them how you feel. Because you never know.
I agree.
My thoughts are sure, them feeling sure, real talk, I'm on it. So, you know, I put it out there, you know, and that's what we got to do. We got to put ourselves out there. We got to be open, you know, because prior to that, I'm telling y'all what I said. I said I was going to do no more dating. I was just going to foster women that they find their forever homes. That was my goal, just foster. And I said, no, Jay, that's not. You gotta. But I felt like that until, you know, someone changed my mind. So, but
so you know, you mentioned not long ago, you said early on when we first started this discussion, you said nobody really wants to be alone. So can we go back to that? Because last week we talked about that, and we talked about how people, Dr. Nicole talked about, you know, people swearing relationships off and all of that, right? And we know that they do, that whole idea is trauma informed. It's trauma based. It's based on what folks have gone through. Okay. Because statistics show, I mean, and if it wasn't the statistics, we're human beings and we thrive from touch and affection and love and all of that. Like you said, who really wants to be alone? Growing old or growing young? Who wants to do that, right? And so, I mean, the way the world is now, and there are so many broken people. And then I have to plug this in to say, even with that, I'm not giving up on the idea, the whole concept of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just say the right person will come along. I'm not writing off love and relationships, something that I think is so beautiful, just because the majority of the world seems to be stuck in this headspace that relationships are too hard or people are too broken or whatever, because people don't really want to be alone. I don't care what they say.
Right.
Well, look, Chris Rock said it best. Relationships aren't hard when two people are working. It's like moving a couch. One person's gonna catch help moving the couch, but two people, it ain't so bad. So make sure your partner is on the same page that you're on, and it's not a lot of work if y'all on the same page. And like I say, a lot of people say that they don't mind being alone. That's a coping mechanism. For when they fail at it and don't find somebody, they say, I never wanted anybody. It's a coping mechanism. Nobody wants me.
Yeah. Nicole talked about that too last week. It is a coping. It's their way of accommodating for what they're really feeling. And it really, I mean, the older I get, it makes me think about, I remember when I was in school, when I taught school, and some of the kids that would be the class clown or whatever, and how people we would find out a lot of times that kids were really accommodating for other stuff that they were going through or whatever. And it's kind of like, these people, they're really pretty, I don't need nobody, and I'd be better all by myself. And I just can't see anybody really meaning that.
Yeah. Me either. But I think people think they mean it because that's what's going to keep them the safest. And so that's what they go with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I ain't going with that.
Yeah, me either.
Are any of you guys dating, relationships or anything?
Can I plead the fifth? I'm kidding. No, not particularly. Not particularly. Mm-mm.
Yes, Dr. Shaw.
Is there a follow-up question?
Oh no, I'm just asking because our viewers probably want to know. You got to think. I'm sitting here with two beautiful women. I know the men watching thinking, "Man, which one of them is available?" So I'm sure they licking their chops trying to figure it out. I ain't gonna put y'all on blast and stuff like that.
But that does bring up a question for me, wanting to know your perspective as the male. What are your thoughts about in the beginning of a relationship, telling the person kind of what you're looking for? Do you feel like, sometimes women might say, oh, I'm looking for something long-term, or maybe a man might say that in the beginning. And I think we talked about this during the last show, that sometimes women shy away from asking that question because we are afraid it's going to run the other person off, right? So what are your thoughts about, should you talk about wanting to be serious, or what your expectation is in dating in the beginning of dating somebody, or should you just kind of leave that off the table?
No, you should definitely put it out there. That way you're not wasting your time or theirs. Because if you don't put that out there, you set yourself up. So yeah, let me know what it is that you're after, and if I can accommodate it, we'll move forward. And vice versa, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking for. So yeah, we should always tell each other, what we're
after.
Yeah,
and I feel like if somebody runs from that question, then
go ahead.
And there you go. Yeah, run fast as you can.
Right. There's the answer. Yeah. Well, I know it does kind of, make some people a little nervous, thinking in the beginning, oh, this person's already trying to lock me down, or, I've heard men say that before. And so that might be a reason why women kind of shy away from it. But I agree. What is the point of wasting time at this point, at this stage, at this age? What are we doing?
And let me say, when we say men, we're only speaking from our perspective of women that date men.
Right.
We are not men bashing. I always like to insert that.
Right. I get it.
I can only come with, yeah.
We're at about our first break here.
Oh, Lord. Well, that didn't take long.
It did not.
Don't make that time move, Big J. We'll be back in a moment on 94.7 FM.
And we're back. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Saturday afternoon. We are here with the Silver Fox, Mr. Jay from Baltimore. He is talking to us a little bit about relationships today. And, it's always a good time talking to him because you just never know.
And it's always a good time when we can get the male perspective.
Yeah. And especially this one, because you never know what he's going to say.
Lord have mercy.
Yes. All right. So I got a question for you, Jay. How do you feel about remaining friends with an ex when you are in a new relationship? Is that a no-no for you, or is there some, some situations where that's okay?
That's touchy. It depends upon the situation. I've done it before. I've had exes, and I'm sorry, I had girlfriends who was cool with the ex, and I even got cool with them. You know, I think that's where the dynamics kind of changed. You can really see with nothing else there. You know, but that's a slippery slope. That's a tricky one there.
Well, when you talk about what your situation, I bet you there were some clear boundaries that made it. You see what I'm saying? You feel where I'm going with that? That made it easy for people to accept each other.
Right.
For the girlfriend to be okay with you still having a friend that was next.
Yeah. That's why you put it out there in the beginning. You disclose that in the beginning. That way you make a clear decision whether I'm a fool with this, I'm gonna walk away from this. Tell me that off the rip.
Yeah.
Don't throw that at me when I start to, job digging you. Don't throw that at me.
Right.
Yeah, I love that he said it's a slippery slope, because that is a slippery slope.
It is.
Yeah, that's one of those, it all depends.
Some people try to date and it ain't for them. And they can go back to the friendship like the dating never happened. And it happens. You know, and we just be the best. I have one of those. We are like cool as hell because we tried to date, wasn't for us, and we are so cool today. And nothing will ever happen to us. Nothing, but it's just all about making your partner feel secure about that situation, because it's easy for us to say it, but to give it to our spouse or our significant other, that's a big pill to swallow.
That is true. That is so true. And you don't hear men really talk transparently about that too much. Not too much, not too quickly.
That's why I started my talk channel, because I was trying to give men a platform to speak or be heard, or even though most times I just take what they ask me and I share it with the public, and because men need that. Men don't like to feel vulnerable and open themselves up.
Talk about that, Jay.
It's a lot today, huh?
Talk about that. And
yeah, it's a lot
men
for
don't
men
like feeling vulnerable and open themselves up.
Well, it depends upon the men. Like I say, some men hate rejection. So before they tell a woman how they really feel and they don't know how she's feeling, they won't say. And I think real men do real things. I'm gonna tell a woman how I'm feeling. Because here's the thing: if it don't work out, so be it. But don't live with, damn, could it have worked? Had I just told her what I was feeling, it might have worked. So versus living with regrets, I'm gonna tell that woman, I'm digging you, I'm feeling you. What you do with that is what you do with that. But I'm gonna tell you how I'm feeling. I'm gonna set my boundaries about what I allow, what I don't allow, as we all should, But it's
how much so I don't know if it was last week or week before last. I want to say it was week before last. We talked about the love languages. Okay. And I was sharing as Nicole was going through them, I was sharing like what my top ones were. When you meet someone, and I'm really specifically speaking to a woman meeting a man now, and I know this could happen both ways, but because you talk about men not necessarily wanting to be in a vulnerable space or whatever. So a female meets a man, and there's certain, she has certain love language. Let's say her top love language is anything. Give me one of them. Acts of service. Acts of service. And let's say, but the person that she's with, that's kind of not their thing. Should she move on a relationship or the potential relationship thinking that, oh, he might change, or I might be able to change him, or you understand what I'm saying? Or should we just really try to connect with someone that we know? Because the whole premise to me of the love language concept is that you learn your partner's love language to see if you're able to offer them what they need, right? And so if you don't see that in a person, if a woman doesn't see that in a man, should she even move on that? What are her chances on that?
I would say at this stage in our lives, if that's not who somebody is, if you can deal with that, then more power to you. I would say, me as a man, if I need certain things from a woman and she can't give me what I need, I'm gonna fill a void all the time.
You mean give you what you want naturally, like it's just a part
right,
of her.
Right, exactly. If I gotta beat it out of her, that means she's not happy giving it to me because it ain't who she is genuinely. Ooh. And I'm not gonna enjoy what she's giving me because I'm forcing her to give it to me. You know what I mean? It's gonna feel like rape almost. You know what I mean? Like if I I need you to touch me, and she's kind of half-ass touching me, and I'm gonna feel like it's forced. It's not natural, and I think at that point nobody's gonna be happy. You know what I'm saying? She's mad because she's being forced to touch me, and I'm mad because she's fake touching me because it ain't what she really wants to do. If my love language is physical touch.
And so y'all both end up frustrated and angry at the other person.
Right.
Which is never conducive to a healthy relationship.
Right. That's not, so if people can, some things people can deal with. People can say, I really want that, but it's not a deal breaker for me. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on. So it's all about the individual. Me, I need it. I need what I need because I know I'm gonna give what she needs, and I want to be happy too. All that happy wife, no, it's happy spouse, happy house. We both gonna be happy around here. All that happy wife, happy life. No, I'm not gonna just cater one way. It's a two-way street. So,
I agree.
Yeah. So that's why we gotta learn these languages to see can we, master them. If the person means enough to you, to master that language. Because some people, let's say it ain't your thing, but the right person comes along and it becomes your thing. Like
that's a good point.
Yeah, because some things I'm not really into, but like say the young lady I'm talking about from the elevator, she wanted something from me. Well, I'm gonna give it to her. I'm gonna give it to her.
Oh my goodness. There's something really special about this lady from the elevator. This is the second time we done heard about her. She must be bad mamma jamma.
She definitely caught me off guard, but
oh God.
Again, I'm man enough to say that,
Yeah.
And if she's watching,
if she's listening, the lady from the elevator.
Right.
Girl.
So
but I love that. I love the whole idea that, here's my thing. Acts of service may not be my thing, but for, like you said, for the right person, I would be like, you know what? So what? I'll go ahead and wash them dishes and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I think with the right person, it feels good to do it.
Yes, it does.
Even if it's out of your, not in your lane, it just feels good to do it for the right person, right?
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Gotta beat it out of them. Nah.
Not to mention, the feeling you feel when you know how good they're feeling. You know what I'm saying? The look on their face.
You better preach.
Should make you feel good.
You better feel say good
it. That, like I tell everybody, when I tell everybody about me being a pimp, it ain't what everybody think.
Yeah.
It means pleasing is my pleasure.
Okay.
That's my pimp. Pleasing is my pleasure. So if I don't keep a smile on her face, I'm leaving room for another man to do that. That's called room for infiltration. I want to be infiltrated. So it's my duty to keep that smile on her face. That's my job.
And you know what? I mean? I think if both people can can approach the relationship from that standpoint of like, it's my, you know, responsibility or it's my privilege to make
like,
this
look,
person
big
happy.
like Chick-fil-A, my pleasure.
Right, exactly, right. Then you know, how can you lose in that situation if the two of you are like almost making it a competition? Not really, but you know, to make the other person happy. How can you lose it if you approach it that way?
Right, right. Now, I do have a question to ask you guys because
Sure.
Oh Lord,
women are a little different from men. Why is it that, because people don't have discussions anymore? Remember when we were kids, we would write down, do you want to go together? Yes or no? And they would check a box. You can't note in class. We don't do that no more. Now, today, it's like when you sleep with a woman, they assume you guys go together because y'all slept together.
Now,
does that?
I can't answer that for women in general. I mean, my guess would be that there's something about a certain level of intimacy. This would probably be my guess. You know, maybe there's something about a certain
right. All just guessing here.
Huh?
We're all just guessing. We can't speak for the world, but we just
yeah. And so I'm just thinking that maybe there's something about a certain level of intimacy that makes a person, because I don't think that's really something you can just say is unique to women. Because I think there are people in general that might feel like if you get to that point, oh, we must be, you know, in a committed, you know, monogamous relationship if it has not been said up front.
That part.
Right.
Yeah, that's not what this is. You know, we just hanging out or doing something casually or whatever. But I you know, that would be my only guess. But I don't.
Here's my tip. Okay, we're hanging out. See, we got a good vibe, great chemistry. We may have a great vibe and a great chemistry. Now we want to see if we have sexual chemistry. So it's just seeing, are we compatible sexually? But for some folks, like you said, maybe men too, once you cross them lines in people's minds, oh, we're a whole item now. It's like, whoa, we still going through the process of seeing, are we compatible to one another?
See, to me, now you're hitting on a whole different thing. It just, you know, you from a religious perspective, you know, you got people that probably wouldn't even indulge sexually because there's no marriage. I mean, I'm just saying, like, we could take that and just run with it in so many different, you know, directions, right?
And I think that is partly why it's important to have the conversations in the beginning about, you know, expectations and what you are looking for and what you want. Because when you don't, and then you know, engage in whatever, then you upset or looking crazy or feeling crazy because the other person didn't want what you wanted.
Might be in a whole different headspace.
Headspace.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like transparency is key, but like one of you just said, but both people got to be there. Both people got to be doing that, saying, being open. And because, you know, I said to somebody not long ago, when it comes to love, you know, two people might love each other, but they didn't both get there at the same time. Somebody got there first. If it wasn't but 2 minutes before, somebody gets there first. And, you know, transparency is everything, but it's not easy for people to, it's an uncomfortable place, headspace for folks to be really transparent. You know, it'd be uncomfortable for somebody to hang out with somebody for months and then that person goes, you know, I really love you and blah, blah, blah. And then you'd be like, well, yeah.
That's uncomfortable.
I kind of don't feel that way. Huh?
You said something before about religion. It made me think about something. My soulmate could be a JW, you know.
What's a JW?
And Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, okay.
She probably knocked through my door. I didn't answer the damn thing, and I lost her forever. You know, just because I ain't gonna open the door. You know, so that's I gotta be more mindful when they knock on my door.
So listen, when you brought up something that we talk about a lot, soulmates. Talk about soulmates. What do you think? Is there a thing or isn't there or?
Yeah, I do think it's a such thing, and this is what I think about a soulmate. That's somebody who really just gets you and you get them. It's just organic, it's special. Like anybody can look good and become eye candy, but we all need some soul food. That's where the soulmate comes into play. And I think I found mine, but we're gonna see. But yeah, I do believe in them.
Okay. So do I. What about, and this may kind of go with what we talked about when we were talking about the love languages, people being equally yoked. What does that mean to you?
Equally yoked. Well, we share the same values and beliefs when it comes to relationships. That's when we equally yoked, when we are on the same, same plane as it pertains to the relationship and dating. And that's hard because, like you said before, people move at different rates. We may get there eventually, but somebody gonna get there 1st. Not saying we want to ride, but we will get there, eventually. I do believe people can be equally yoked, and it may take time. Somebody may already be there while the other one is not. They may get there, they may not. That's the sad part because our most valuable asset is our time. And we don't want to waste it. I can't give you forever to get there. If you're going to get there, or, I got full of love with this.
Yeah. Especially when you're not 25 anymore. I used to, when I was 25, I was like, oh, whatever, I got time, nothing matters. 25. Now I'm pushing 41 and everything matters. Time matters for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. If the older I get, the more, I think I said this last week, the more I'm real picky about my time now. Real picky about my time. You talk about next, move right along. Sister be there, okay? It don't take me but a minute. I'll be like,
yeah.
Don't waste my time. Do not waste my time. And people got this thing about, let's just have fun and just see where. No. I can have fun. I can have fun, right? In many different situations. But I'm not going to be putting my energies and my time into a person that I'm trying to have a potential relationship with, and it ain't going nowhere.
Right. Speaking of time, we are at another break.
We're doggone it.
Yeah. We'll be back. Stick around hang out with us on Dr. to Doctor in the chat room on 94.7 FM. We'll be right back.
And we're still here on 94.7 FM on Dr. to Doctor in the chat room. We are here with the Silver Fox, Big J, talking about relationships, our favorite subject. See what it is. We talked a few weeks ago, and we were talking about things that we that women probably want to ask. So I'm going to ask this. I asked the question: what do men really want? I mean, if you had to just tell like this one or two overarching things that men really, really want out of a relationship, what would it be?
What do men really want?
Yeah.
Men really want women that are ultra feminine, Real men want women that have old-fashioned values.
Old-fashioned values?
Real men, yeah, like not like modern women. These women today are something special. That's a whole other conversation. But these women today are definitely something special. But men
So,
today, I covered this. What I said on my channel was, we want y'all to be fit and fine. That's really the nut in the shell. Fit and fine, for men who have their own and can take care of their own. That's all you really want from your woman, to be fit and fine. Just be a lady at all times.
what are
Man,
some of those old-fashioned values that you were mentioning in the beginning?
The old-fashioned values are just how can I say this?
Yeah, PG, please. Like, are you talking about,
Let's just get that question, please.
are
No,
you
I don't mean like barefoot in the kitchen and cooking and all that. What I mean
okay?
by old-fashioned values is the core values. Like, women are too masculine today. Women are too busy seeking attention from everyone and everybody around them. What they get from their man is never enough. They need attention from the co-workers and everybody around them. And that's what I mean by old-fashioned values. That's something that it's like the new drug. The new drug today is attention. Everybody's ODing on it.
Right,
Everybody
but I
want
don't know
likes on.
is that like exclusive to women? Because I know quite a few men that
No. It's probably some men out there chasing attention as well. The world is just different. It's not what it used to be. But when I say old fashioned, it's not like women who just don't need all that extra validation from outsiders.
the world.
Remember that time when Stephen Curry's wife said she wanted more attention? Like, you're married to Stephen Curry. Like, what? Like, that whole, I just need more attention, all eyes on me. I got to have the last word and everything that we're talking about, old-fashioned values. You see, I got to watch how I say it because it's going to sound
You do.
almost chauvinistic. So I'm trying to, I don't want nobody to think I'm attacking anybody, because I'm not. I was birthed by a woman. I have daughters. Like, I love women. But things have definitely changed on both ends, men and women alike. Things have definitely changed.
So you think that women that are getting what they need, back to those love languages, you think that the average woman that is getting what she needs from her man would still need outside attention from, you think?
Some.
Okay.
If she's attention seeker, if she's one of the people who's on that new drug called attention, then yes, she's gonna need it from everyone around her. That's an individual thing, but yeah, some do. Some, that man tell me every day how gorgeous you are and how fine you are, and how you can wait to get home and see you. It's not enough. I need it from my coworkers. When I walk past this construction site, I want to hear them whistling and carrying on. When I go get gas, I want to hear it. I need to hear it everywhere I go. They need that validation.
Yeah, I don't know any women like that. And I'm not being funny. I don't. I know women that get a lot of attention. But I don't know any that are getting it from somebody that they really want it from. And then it phases them when they go out and they hear it at the gas pump. Because Lord, I really, when I'm at the gas pump, I want to become invisible. I really do.
Yes.
And I hate, because I don't want to come across as rude when somebody is genuinely. I think my son posted one time. He was like, "Every guy that speak to you ain't trying to hit on you," and that's true. That is so true. But you never know when they are,
right?
When they aren't. So I really just want to be invisible. I just want to pump my gas and get back in my car. Bad as I hate to pump gas, right? I'm not looking for that kind of attention, whether I'm dating or not.
Right.
I'm not looking for that kind
because sometimes women just really want to be like left alone. We just want to be able to just be and not have to no, I'm sorry, or I'm dating someone, or I'm not dating right now, or we don't want to always have to give an excuse or an explanation about why we don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Why I just want to.
Husband letting you pump gas.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it gets.
Let me say this too now. Men go through that too now. Men got all the chicks in the inbox, and people hit your little YouTube email address, and men go through the same things you guys go through. Women are very aggressive these days. Women aren't, the women of old. Women ain't playing no games. Yeah. You come outside, there's a note on your windshield when you go into the Walmart. I saw you going in, didn't know how long you're going to be, but call me, yada, yada, yada. Oh, we go through that stuff too. Yeah, we go.
But you know what?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do men feel flattered when that happens though? Because I don't know that women always feel flattered. We feel stalked, actually.
We don't. It gets annoying. You know, it's flattering when it's not the norm for you to happen. When it happens constantly, it gets annoying. It gets annoying.
Well, that's how.
Unless it's from the person you're running from, then it's flattering.
Yeah. That's the difference.
Right.
That's the difference.
When you find out who said that to you or did that to you, oh, that's from him. Now you blushing and giggling and turn on.
Oh, and as a matter of fact, if I'm dating someone and not getting the attention that I deserve or I should be in the relationship, I still don't want that other attention. I just don't want that attention,
You know what, Rhonda? That's why I fool with you.
And I'm gonna say this because I find that not many, I have incidents where guys will approach me and I'm not interested, but I will tell that guy, thank you so much for your approach. Because every now and then one will approach in a very respectable, whatever kind of way, right? That so much so that it's highlighted enough in my head to make me say to him, look, I appreciate your approach. Although I'm not
still no.
It's still no. And he's good with that. He ain't coming with no corny lines. He ain't, or nothing like that. He just straight up, and I have to appreciate that guy's approach, right? But those others, most of the time, when it ring, he lets you come out without your ring on, and just stuff that just makes me want to go, like,
yeah.
You ever this question for Dr. Rhonda? You ever look at a picture of you and someone and say, "Man, we look good together"?
You know what? I have done that. I mean, and been like, "What? We look good together." I be like, I know when people see us, they be like, "Woo, they look good together." I've seen a picture of you and someone, and y'all look exceptionally well together. I don't know if y'all together, but y'all look great together.
Right. I took a picture recently with this young lady. We look, oh my God, yeah, we look
amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God. But
so what's going on?
I don't know if she's flattering me, I'm flattering her, but we look good in that picture.
Yeah.
This can't possibly be the same elevator lady that you were speaking of.
You know what? It is. Yes, indeed.
You're too funny, Jay. Tell me this. What do you think, if there was one thing that's like the most important thing in a relationship, and keeping in mind we are PG, what would you say one of the most important things in a relationship would be?
Thanks for that reminder.
You're welcome. I know you needed it, so.
Okay, PG.
Well,
let's go with the stuff, the cliche stuff first.
Okay.
You gotta communicate and let each other know what we want, what we need, what we require. But outside of communication, that physical thing gotta be up to par.
Okay.
Because like we said before, we're human beings. We have needs. We can suppress our needs from time to time, but we have them. And it's nothing like your partner fulfilling all of those needs. So, communication and great intimacy.
Okay. Yeah, I think a few weeks ago when we had Mr. Byron on, he talked a lot too about communication. And I happen to agree that that is one of the most important things. I'm really, without it, everything else falls apart.
I seen that episode. Yeah, that's a cool brother right there.
Yeah.
Cool.
He all right.
Yeah. That's the key. Communication is the key, and great intimacy, and making sure you are speaking the proper love language to your mate, so y'all are heard and understood. You gotta do that, and the right person will make you do that. If that's not your language per se, the right person will make you. The thought of losing them will make you get on par with that language. The thought of losing the right person.
Let's talk about tangible things and, you know, materialistic things.
Okay.
Can that be a challenge in a relationship, particularly when you have two people? I'm talking about like my age bracket now, right? I mean, most of the time we've established whatever, you know, we've established ourselves or whatever.
Hold a minute, hold up. I need to call you off their phone.
She's paying attention.
What, I mean, can that even be? Because although I like nice things, okay, I don't like being materialistic. And I hope what I just said made sense. It made sense to me when it came out of my mouth.
Yeah, I got you.
But it may not sound like, okay.
Okay, here's the thing. You're speaking from a well-to-do woman's perspective. Women that have their own aren't impressed with a bunch of gifts and carrying on. They're sweet every now and again, but women that got their own, it's not going to make them, over the moon, because women like that, I call them gold diggers, not gold. You have your own goals that you're digging and you're addressing. So a bunch of gifts, it can come out sweet, but that ain't your be all and end all. Women with their things together, with their act together, they tend to want more intimacy. Gold diggers, GOLD, loved gifts because it's what they're here for.
That's Dr. Nicole, because when we talked about love languages, when we got the gifts, woo, that's her.
Rude.
I'm just kidding.
What you got to say about that, Jay?
I was gonna say she's the gold digger.
Who's gold digger?
Dr. Nicole, because when we talked about, after you just broke it down for us the other week when we were talking about love language, when we got to gifts, she just lit up. No, I'm kidding.
That was my thing. That's mine.
Okay.
But the gifts that she liked were the ones, you make yourself for. You know what I'm saying? A homemade card.
Yeah.
Right.
The thought.
That means here's the thing. When you put thought into it, and it took you some time to create,
that's what she
said, that card, or you make that dinner or whatever. See, a man with money can throw money around because that's just it. I can throw it around. You're dispendable. When I'm done with you, I can buy another one. Women gotta be careful chasing men that have money because you become, I can't say secondary, you become fourth dairy. You so far down the line.
Yeah.
And it's something that comes with that. You got to be very, very confident when you pursue that kind of man. And you got to sometimes know that you're not the only woman, because money changes people. That same clown that got money is just a clown with money now. But he's going to make it for all the time that he was a clown and didn't get that love and attention from the opposite sex. So he's going to be out there showing his entire.
Right.
So you got to be confident about, those type. You know what I mean? Gotcha.
Good job, Jay. Good job. Okay,
Gotcha.
so I have a question that it might kind of go back to what you were talking about earlier, but when you mentioned, a woman with
old-fashioned values.
Old-fashioned values, yes, thank you. It kind of prompted me to think about those roles, those relationship roles that we tend to have. So do you have strong feelings one way or another about like what role a woman versus a man should play in a relationship?
Here's the thing. People don't want to believe that we have gender roles, but we have to have gender roles. It's like we can give our women the same equality, but there's some things women just going to excel at, and some things men are going to excel at. Like if you're home getting your head beaten by your husband, you call the police. You don't want no 5'2" chick to show up. He already beating your behind. You don't want. Or if you're in a burning building, you're on the 15th floor. You don't want a 130-pound woman to come and throw you on her shoulder and come down this ladder.
If she can.
Let's be realistic though. Yeah. I'm not gonna trust a woman. I ain't gonna have a choice if I'm in a burning building, but if she can throw my 300 pound behind on her shoulder and walk to that ladder and handle her business, then kudos to her. But gender roles are important, but you can switch them up. Like you may want to jump on a long track.
I totally agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
Right, and cut that grass. I may do dinner. But me being old school, I don't want you doing that hard labor. I don't want you breaking the nail. Let me take care of this yard work and, riding that tractor and keep this lawn manicured and make sure you don't touch no doors or no fuel pump nozzles. That's just what, we do as, old-fashioned men with old-fashioned values. But, we're far and few between these days.
When you were talking about that, I was thinking about when Byron was on the show and we talked about, women really have been put in positions, like I said, in this whole new dating phenomenon, that this whole new world that we're in, where we've been put in position to have to do certain things. And I don't mean necessarily cut the yard or anything like that, just being kind of the head or whatever. And then, so then when we meet guys that are, as you say, that are men, right? And they want to step up to the plate and be a man, then we have to relinquish our, right? But he kind of talked about it, and he wordsmithed it very well in saying that, but no matter how this woman comes, I don't know how he put it, but he basically said, I'm always going to be very clear and confident in my role as a man. So I think because of the situations that we've been put in or whatever, we have to meet men that are confident in their role as a man, right? Because they're gonna have to be patient with us while we kind of, calm down from having to, do it all and let them step up and do it, and nobody steps on anybody's toes. We're gonna give you 30 seconds to give us some final thoughts because we're already past time.
Oh wow, okay. Well, damn, I can't wrap it up that fast because I talked to a friend today about something similar about men and women roles and how when women carried a burden for so many years, they develop that masculinity for being the man and the woman of the house. But when men are single dads, they don't pick up the feminine roles and so it's again, it's slippery slope, but we're gonna end this on I had a great time talking with you ladies. It was wonderful. Look forward to doing it again. Want you guys to come on to my platform. It's a little less PG. We can cut up. And, we can do it, and I can tell you more about the elevator girl and all that stuff.
I look forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, and we look forward to you guys being back here next Saturday at 2 p.m. Same chat channel, same chat time, right here on 94.7 FM, Dr. to Doctor in the chat room. We will see you then.